I'm George Pickering, that's Ben Winty, and welcome to Drum and Drummer, where each episode we hopefully have a humorous chat about drums, drumming and drummers, and we'll be joined by some guests along the way. For those that don't know, we are both drummers in this business we call music. However, we have other strings to our bow, such as Ben is a producer, mixer, masterer, and everything in between at his studio, the Old Blacksmiths in Portsmouth, and I run Drum Coach Online, an online platform where you can learn drums from your very home. Hope you enjoy. Let's begin as we take the path down the unknown street of conversation between two mates passing the time whilst trying to stay in time. Fuck yeah. How's that?
Wow. I mean,
how's that for an intro?
Yeah, great. Unexpected.
Breathe a bit. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
No.
I especially liked when you sort of dropped something at the end and made a big racket.
Oh, that was my phone. Because I was reading that, I thought this podcast isn't on a video, so I can very much just read everything I wrote.
Yeah. Great.
I think I had about 3 breaths and about 100 words there.
Yeah. No, I'm happy.
But there we go. We got intros.
Yeah.
I think next time I'll be more professional and won't shout, "Fuck yeah, I did it." You know?
I think I was wondering if that was part of the.
No. That was
get to the end. Exclaim! Yeah. Fuck yeah, I did it! I did it, Mum! Look at me go!
Yeah, literally. Because I mean, I had to practice that a bit, you know.
Yeah. Well, you did very well, mate. Yeah,
thank you very much.
Great. This is sort of bonus Christmas episode, isn't it?
It is.
I'd say
it is.
So first off, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy Christmas.
Glad tidings to you and your king. So
yeah, or queen.
Or queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. What should we begin with, Christmas-wise?
Well, I've just opened all my presents and I've had a big Christmas dinner. Yum, 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 yum. George, first of all, just quickly, turkey?
Well, I'm veggie now, but in my days of eating meat, yeah, I'd go turkey.
So what are you having then? What do you have? What did you have for Christmas dinner?
Yeah, this is it. Before I moved to Brighton and became vegan and a hippie. I remember we used to go to my auntie and uncle's and they used to have a ridiculous, I don't even know what it was. It was a mixture of 3 birds, all in a bird. It was
you just get a big bird and then you shove a medium bird in the big bird and then you get a little bird and you shove that in. Cook it for a day.
Yeah.
All the birds. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah. But you eat it and you're like, I don't even know what bird is what anymore. It's just a massive meat. So that's what we'd have, which just seemed ridiculous. What did you have? Any special foods you'd have on Christmas Day?
Yeah. So the only thing I give a shit about on Christmas for Christmas dinner is cheese in blankets. Cheese in blankets.
Go on, Ben. What is cheese in blankets?
So we had these just growing up every Christmas. Mother Ann, we'd have pigs in blankets, sure, great. But she'd get these cheese in blankets. There's bits of cheese wrapped in bacon, and they're done in the oven, and the bacon goes all crispy, and the cheese inside is all lovely and soft, right? And I remember, since entering adulthood, you're like, oh, you have cheese in blankets? People are like, what? I'm like, cheese in blankets? Pigs in blankets? No.
Yeah.
Pigs in blankets, yeah, but cheese in blankets. And basically, I'm pretty sure you can only get these in Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
And they're literally like gold dust. So rare. And every year, the only thing I care about is that Mother Ann goes and gets these cheese in blankets. Otherwise, Christmas is over. It's ruined.
Yeah. It's ruined.
Yeah.
You've ruined it.
Every year, she texts me and tells me she's on the hunt.
I love it.
Whether she's got them or not. And I will say that they're the best thing ever. And I couldn't give a shit about everything else. But yeah, other than that, turkey and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
She does a wonderful dinner, you know.
Yeah.
Simple, nothing mental, all the standards.
Yeah.
But cheese and blankets, mate, absolute game changer.
Yeah, I remember the first time you told me about them, and I was confused because I went,
Yeah. Everyone's
don't you need
confused.
pigs and blankets?
Yeah, everyone's confused. But honestly, they changed my life, and I think they'll change yours.
Do you know what kind of cheese it is?
I can't. I don't know. I eat them so quick. There's no time for. And the great thing is, what she does is she buys 2 boxes of them.
That's good
because this boy going to eat.
Yeah.
And I shove.
How many's in a box, and how big are they?
I think they're
talking inches.
Maybe they're an inch long. They're a little smaller than pigs in blankets.
Right.
I'd say the bacon is the same, but they're not as big. The cheese isn't as big as the sausage.
Right, got you.
Exactly. I think there's 16 in a box.
Yeah.
2 boxes.
How many people are at your Christmas
3. Usually there's just 3.
So
and
16.
I'd say 16. I'd say a fair division of those 16 is Mum will have a couple.
Yeah.
Dad will have
14 left.
Yeah. Dad will have 4.
And
let me tell you that.
Left.
Yeah.
And then another box.
There ain't none left. And then there's another box because of Boxing Day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, yum.
Do you know what? My favourite part of Christmas still is, even though I technically can't partake in what it's called, the cold meats. When it gets to about 6 or 7 at night and you get sort of peckish again, you're not actually hungry. You don't need food. You've eaten way too much already. But you go, oh, I could eat something. And then it's just cold turkey and ham and all sorts, crisps, chips, bread, cheese, whatever. Just,
Terry's
put it
chocolate
all
orange.
on the table.
Yeah,
There's no
limit. There's no rules.
No, I think that's why I like it, because I think the dinner is quite stressful for everyone. Everyone has to, we all got to sit around the table, and when do we do crackers? And is it all coming out at the right time? Cold meats, there's no,
just help yourself.
People,
it's all laid out. Just help yourself. Buffet style, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
When do you eat your dinner?
I don't know. One or 2. I can't really remember. I know it's early afternoon, but never later than that.
We're usually around the 3 mark, I think.
That's something like that. Yeah. It depends though. Christmas has changed a lot in the last few years in my family. We seem to be at a different house every time. And this year, I'm in France with the old girlfriend. So that would be very interesting, considering. Let's see if I get out there. But yeah. Anyway, let's discuss a Christmas gig we had together.
Yes. Whoa! What? You did a gig together? 2 drummers?
That is mental.
That is mental. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What did you play, George?
I played bass.
The bass guitar.
On bass? Have we got the time for the backstory?
The backstory is you play a bit of bass.
Well, yeah, but there's a little bit more. It's just that at the start of this year, I had new gigs coming up, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, do you know any bassists for this Oasis cover pub band I got?" And I said, "I do, but I'll do it." So I bought a bass, and I played it a bit before, but I learned that way. And then Ben very kindly said, "Well, we need a bassist for our band, your function band." So we ended up doing a Christmas gig together. Which is very enjoyable.
We've done a few this year together. I about 10 years ago, did the same thing. I know my way around a guitar a little bit. And
sure.
Oh, do you play bass? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then I just did an absolute route one job. No flair. We've all played bass for money.
We have. I've done a lot.
Played bass for money.
More for a lot less.
Yeah. So we did a gig together, and it was a Christmas-themed gig.
It was
a Christmas party. But what we want to delve into is, George, you're a drummer, sure, but you were playing bass at this gig.
Yeah.
How do you find that experience?
Very good question. So
sure, your first thought is, "Oh, Ben's so good at the drums, I'll never be as good as him." That's why I'm on the bass. But
yeah, exactly.
Secondary after that thought, what's going through your head?
Well, thank you for saying that, because that was originally what I was going to say, and just leave it there. But I'll try and have another thought about it. Basically,
yeah.
Basically,
good.
No, it really makes you think about drums, because when you play drums, you know, there's first of all, there's a part of you when you're playing drums that you think everyone notices every fill I'm playing and every cool thing I think I'm doing, you know. But as soon as you're playing bass, especially because bass doesn't feel that comfortable for me, I notice that a lot of the time I'm just trying to play the right notes, you know what I mean? So you could have been doing some crazy stuff on the drums.
And I was.
I lined you up for that one. But genuinely, you're just trying to like stay in time. And I will say I've played with other bands. I won't say who, out of respect, but their drummer very much slowed down on certain songs. Wasn't you, by the way. Different band. And there's this horrible feeling, because you feel the song going slower,
and you can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it because you're not in control, and you realize how much control you have as a drummer. It's, you know, it goes without saying anyway, you are controlling the time and the dynamics and stuff like, but when you're on bass, I remember just going, this is getting slower. And there's nothing I can do. And everyone's got to follow the drummer. And it genuinely, I think, has made me I don't know if I'm a better drummer, but like thinking more about stuff, because playing with other drummers and you watch them and they might not even be aware of what everything else that's going on, if that makes sense. So we're playing this song in this other band, and the drummer was playing way too slow, and you could hear the singer was really singing slowly, you know, because that was the tempo. And I remember thinking, man, like this drummer is not holding it together whatsoever. And then when I got back on drums, it kind of made me think more about, oh, my job really is to just keep it all together. You know, it's good drummers know that anyway.
You know, we are the foundation that all music's built on. Sure.
Yeah, but you know, it is.
Get that wrong, and your house is going to fall down.
This is it. We are the bricks, the mortar. You know, the guitarist.
Mortar.
But no, it makes you think differently about how to play, because you suddenly realize, oh, I am just holding it together. And, you know, if I was playing bass and you did some crazy fill that threw me off, I'd be like, oh, what, you know? So then it kind of makes me think as a drummer, okay, let's definitely not do something that will throw the band members off.
Well, I think there's an important lesson in there where, because I also play the trombone, and I did for many, many years. And I used to I had to play in the trombone in the school and college big bands and stuff, because there weren't any trombonists, and there'd be a drummer, and I'd be like, well, I want to do the drums. Well, you got to play trombone because there aren't any others. Curse these metal hands. But I think that there's some things there you've mentioned, and I think this is common, not just with drummers, but with other people, but maybe more with drummers, is you have to understand what else is going on.
Yeah.
Musically in the song. You can't just do your own thing. You got to be aware of, like, you got to understand, like, what is the bass line? What does the bass line do? What are the chords? What's the structure? Because if you're not aware, and I really learned this playing in orchestras at uni, it's like you had to know exactly what everyone else in every other part in that orchestra was doing, because then that would affect what you would be doing. So if you know you're playing, you know, like what note of the chord you're on, and if you know what other instrument or other section of the orchestra is playing that's going to dictate how you play that bit, or where your harmony sits in the texture, that whether you bring it out or you bring it down. And, you know, I see people, you know, they're playing along, like, you know, bassist, for example, they're playing along, singer doesn't come in on the verse. So cool. Well, I know he hasn't started the verse, so we're just going to loop round again, and then he'll come in on the verse. And I saw a bass player just crack on. Yeah. So then when we went to restart the verse, essentially, he just went to the bridge. No awareness at all.
Yeah.
That, hang on, there's something's gone a little right, but we're just going to style it out. And he's going to come back in with the verse after a loop round. And he just cracked on like, what you do? You got no awareness. You don't know what's going on. So you just, I think you got to understand not just your own part, but the ensemble. Understand that ensemble.
You do. I've played with a guitarist in my old band, and we had a depth singer. I wouldn't say his name. I'll tell you after the show. I've always wanted to say that on a podcast. Joey Diaz or someone says, I'll tell you, Rogan, after we've finished. So I'll tell you who I'm talking about later. It's not even important. But he didn't know the structures of the songs, and he
classic singer.
Exactly. And he just started singing over where there's a guitar solo, and the guitarist just went, but this is my solo. So he carried on playing the solo, and I was just like, man, come on, like, just if the singer's still singing, just keep playing chords, do your solo later or something. And it was weird because we finished and the guitarist was really sort of, oh, why did he? Don't worry about it. Like, he's the depth.
Also, no one cared. So
no one cares. Yeah, everyone's either drunk or not here. Yeah. So,
well, take a little break, boy.
Yeah,
take a little break. Good. I'm going to have some more
after the intro.
Cheese in blankets, and maybe a mince pie. Yum,
yummy.
All right, be back in a bit. Merry Christmas! Bye. And we're back. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Glad tidings to you.
Those mince pies were delicious. Yum, 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 yum.
How are the cheese rolls? Cheese blanket.
Cheese rolls. What are you on? Cheese in blankets. They're good. Thankfully, Mummy's got another box for tomorrow. Yum, 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 yum. Good. Right. Hardware.
Yeah.
Let's talk about hardware. I'd probably say if you were getting a present for Christmas that was drum related, hardware would possibly be the most disappointing of them all.
The most disappointing, but also the best also in a way, because it's like, I wasn't going to buy that. It's well, the last thing on my list.
This
someone
brings
else
up
got it for me.
A general Christmas sort of thing, really, isn't it? Do you do you get something you really want?
Yeah.
Or do you get something you really need and they're not necessarily the same?
Yeah.
I want Lego. Do I need more Lego? Yes, but you got to buy a cymbal stand. It's functional. It's boring. It's not flashy. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't add to your sound. It doesn't shape your drums. It literally just holds something in place. And when you go and buy a cymbal stand, you're like, oh God, I've got to buy a cymbal stand.
Yeah.
But get one for Christmas. You don't have to buy it. You need it.
Yeah.
But it ain't flashy.
But I know what you mean. When you open it, if you peel back that wrapping paper, if you peel and it's Lego, oh wow. If it's a cymbal stand, oh wow. It's less of a reaction, but that will serve you for years.
Well, I think hardware, I tend to only buy new hardware when something breaks.
Yeah.
So I'm never just like, oh, I'm going to treat myself to a new hi-hat stand. It's like, a hi-hat stand's fucked. I have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Cymbal stands, like I had these Natal cymbal stands and they were big and expensive, really chunky. And then like the bit at the top, like the tightener like got frayed and then it got basically got the bolt came off, but they were rigid in place. So I could still use them. But it was like, they're just a bit fucked now. Yeah. And it was like that one little thing essentially broke like £100 stand.
Yeah.
And actually, I emailed Natal and said, oh, this bit of my stand's broken. And like, is it possible to just get like a new top bit? I never heard from them. So never heard back. So eventually they
deal with Natal.
Yeah. Eventually they went in the bin and I just bought, right, I'm going to get some new cymbal stands. And I bought 3 pretty medium range Mapex stands, all boom, that the boom arm fits into the top thing,
Yeah.
And I was like, there we go. Nothing mental, but I've got 3 just working stands. But it was a depressing purchase.
Yeah. It's like bass strings. I know this isn't a bass podcast, but bass guitar strings quite expensive, and guitar strings in general, and things that don't add. They do add because you need them, but it's like they're just a bit too much money for what you. Even drumsticks to a point. I know it's not what we're talking about, but it's like a tenner. I never buy more than 2 or 3 packs because it's like, oh God, I want to spend 50 quid on sticks. But you do need them. So my hardware thing at the moment is I need to buy a new hi-hat stand and snare stand and stall, technically, all because of that electronic drum kit, of which eagle-eared listeners will remember from other episodes. I can't actually remember anything that I bought for the electronic drum kit, but the snare, it goes on a snare stand. So I don't want to have to switch between like my gig bag and, I've got to take the snare, just get a new one.
So this is the electric kit's going to be set up for online teaching.
Yes,
drumcoachonline.com. Coming 2022. And you just don't want to have to keep swapping out your snare stand from your live kit that's ready to go. Bring it in, set it up, and then you got to pack it down. And I fully agree.
Yeah,
fully agree.
Because that would be ridiculous.
I know a lot of people do it, and I know people who do it with guitar stuff. They're like, "Oh, I've got to take this from this box and put it in that because I'm doing a different thing." Like, just get 2.
Yeah,
and then I like the ease of going. There's my kit. There's 7 things. Hardware box, kick, tom-tom, snare, cymbals, kick pedal, bosh, and everything's in there, and I don't need to think about it. And then if I have to do a gig on electric kit, it's like, I need to take this out of the box and this.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it, and I just wish. I just like, that's that.
There it is.
This is this, and I don't have to think about it.
Because the electronic kit isn't going to move until I move flat, whenever that is. So it's just there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my old snare and hi-hat stand, have that as the electronic drum kit, because I kind of wanted to get rid of the hi-hat stand anyway, but it works fine. But it's just old. It's Big Dog, which is a brand which we've talked about before.
I've never used.
No, it's not.
Do you think do you think they were trying to be cool?
I don't know.
Do you think they were trying to appeal like sort of a craft beer company?
Maybe. Because the pedal
Big
bit,
Dog.
Yeah, the pedal is blue and like silver, and that's not a normal colours for a hardware, But yeah, I need to get a new one of them. But the interesting thing is a new drum stall, because I think I've only had one drum stall really. I mean, apart from like my starter kit, because it's that thing again of it does the job. I sit on it, that's it. But whenever it's one of those ones. I'll say it's one of those ones that doesn't swivel to get higher.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Yeah. That's what I want though, because I always see them, and
you gotta go swivel, baby.
I want to go swivel.
You gotta go swivel.
I've sat on enough swivel.
You can't be dealing with. I used to have one early doors where it's like you have to unscrew the bolt and then pull the bolt out and then drop it down and then reinsert the bolt through the holes and then tie it up. Absolutely.
Tighten up with a drum key as well. Yeah, exactly. And if you don't tighten it with the drum key, it can just fall like willy-nilly while you're playing. That's the
worst when you get on the store and it just gradually. Just starts.
I should explain for the listeners. Ben's doing showing what a stall going down looks like.
Yeah, just got my hands out and they're just gently lowering down.
Well, the worst one is the abrupt. You ever heard that? You ever it just drops. Feel your soul fall out of your asshole.
I got the pretty standard Mapex throne. It's
I'm assuming
classic.
It's a swivel.
Oh, it's a swivel, baby.
Yeah,
it's a swivel.
It's not even the name.
Double
I've just started calling them swivels.
It's pretty, bog standard, but a very good It's like almost like industry standard. Just maybe it's a round, leather sort of top. There's no cheek curvature. There's no back to it. It's just Bosch, solid, sturdy, comfy, and swivel. And it's great.
That is the most important bit.
Yeah. Because if my stall is but nay a few millimeters off optimum height, it renders me unable to play the drums.
Well, I think we should discuss this. Just the fact that your ability to set up a kit the exact same way every time fascinates me. And I'm sure it fascinates you that I just don't set mine up perfectly the same every time. But literally, if you ever set your kit, it's like, it's amazing. I'm not quite sure how you do it. It's so the same, like I feel like sometimes I get to gigs, I'm like, oh, that crash was a little bit higher than usual, but fine. But I have
these like little marker, like the key, this is key for me, is don't let anyone else fucking touch your stuff and help you set up and pack away. Because
there we go. That's number one rule for
it just wastes time. Because I've got the set up and pack down so efficient that even like, so for example, snare stand, where it can crease in the middle and fold in on itself.
Yeah.
It can do a 180 thing. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Just the angle at the snare, and mine is actually like my snare stand is chunky as fuck. It's an tall one. It's like the daddy. I love it. Even like the knob to tighten the arms of it is just fucking massive. But it's like, just fold the legs up, close the arms. Don't touch that adjustment. Don't touch that the angle and the
I know
thing. Just leave it. Put it in the box like that.
Yeah.
And I have my rack tom on a snare stand as well. Again, just close it up. That angle on the ball and socket joint is set perfectly. But then I have all these little visual markers. Like I don't have any like tape or anything on my drum mat, but like I know that like where I want my crash that's to my left, I know that I want that about an inch above where my hi-hat clutch is.
Right.
And it almost, and then it just grazes past where the hi-hat clutch is. So it's like, I know there, floor tom legs, they've got these little, on the legs, these little patches of like kind of bezeled.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
where it's a rough, the metal goes from smooth to rough. And it's like, I know that I want to go an inch into the second rough bit.
Do you have locks on your?
No.
Do you not? That's what I got. That is.
It does have them actually. It does have the locks on the floor tom legs, but I don't use them because I don't know, because my floor tom is pretty flat, but there's a touch of an angle, and I don't know which leg I'm putting in which socket.
Yeah.
So I don't want it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I always want the Evans logo in the right place,
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like I don't want, like, one of them will be slightly different height to the others, and I don't want to then, when I'm setting it up, have to worry about which one am I putting in which lug, which receptacle. So it's like, just do it an inch into the second rough bit, and then turn it over, get it in place, and then it's usually like, and then I just got to bring that one up a bit.
I get you. I get you.
One, I find my snare is actually, because when I sit at your kit or anyone else's kit, it's like, how do you play this?
Yeah.
Like, and you probably find that with mine. Like,
I do.
Like, what? Why? Yeah. This is so weird.
Yeah.
And I think it's so, people don't realize like how that setup and how accustomed to where things are placed that enable you to just not have to really think about where things are.
Yeah.
And just where you're like, you just know where things are. So you don't have to like constantly, be visually or like, you're so muscle memoried into like where everything is. And I know it's like my snare actually like slopes backwards.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. As in like it almost
slopes away from me.
Yeah.
So if you put the sticks on it and they just roll a little bit towards the kick drum.
Yeah.
Whereas I know most people, when they get a snare, like they have it angled towards them.
Yeah.
But just the where
or flat, I'd say.
Or flat, but the height I sit and my poor technique, that means when I'm rim shotting, my hand actually hits my leg.
Yeah.
Like that's the
consistent
marker
way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, that gives me, I think it gives me consistency. And it means like, oh, I get that rim shot, and if that snare is just a millimeter out, it's awful. I just can't hit it. But then it actually, like, I think, because I'm quite tall, so I actually sit quite far away. Like the snare drum isn't really in between my legs. Like it's kind of only really brushing the knees.
Yeah.
But
maybe I was going to say that's why it feels different for me, because I'm probably 4 inches shorter or whatever. And it's like, you just sort of, that snare seems high up and far away for me to hit. Not far away, but just awkward. And the hi-hat seems quite high. But if you,
I really like I've got a Natal hi-hat stand, and it's one of those ones with just 2 legs. So I can get my double kick pedal in. And it's got this like lean, it like leans towards you kind of on purpose.
Yeah.
And for me, I love that because I can have because I've got long legs, I'm a long-legged blonde, then I can actually have the pedal a bit further away, but the hi-hats themselves are a little bit closer.
No, that makes sense.
And that works. But my hardware is, I just know how to set it up and pack it away quickly, but also maintaining it's like ride stand. I know it needs to be this angle, and this bit, I lift it up roughly this few inches. Sure, I might have to tweak. But it's pretty much like, this is the same.
Definitely.
If anyone touches it, they can fuck off.
Well, I think going back to that, that's a very good point of just in general at gigs, when someone says, "Can I help?" and you go, "No,
you'll slow me down.
You will slow me down."
Yeah, you've got no idea.
Because they just. But I had I had a gig a couple of months ago, and unloaded the kit. Then I had to go and park, and parking just took forever, and we were late to the gig. It took us forever to get there. It was a gig where, not to make it dark, but on the way there, a man tried to kill himself on the motorway bridge we were driving along. So it took us like 2 extra hours to get there. So by the time we got there,
someone probably tried to set up his drum kit. And he
someone said, "Can I help
you?" Not to make light of suicide, but I've had enough of people trying to you get in the floor, Tom, all wrong. And
it's not a swivel stool. I'm going to the bridge. So I turned up, and then I took the kit out of the car. I went to park up, and they were like, "We'll set it up." I don't even know if they said we'll set it up, but either way, I get in, and they're like, "Hey, we've set up your kit for you." And it was mental. It was like when you watch a TV show, and they've got a drum kit, and they clearly, whoever's made the TV show no one plays drums there. And it'll be like the ride is 10 feet away from where the snare is, and there's and it just looks ridiculous. And I was like, well, this is more work to do now. I've got to
that's what I feel like.
It's
going to take me longer to adjust the fuck up you've made than it is to just set it up from scratch.
Exactly.
So fuck off, people. Leave my kit alone.
Exactly. And one last thing, I don't know if it counts as hardware, but that thing you do with your kit, I don't know if we've talked about it before, putting a blanket over the kit. That kind of adds to the whole "no one touch my kit" vibe, because I do that now. I put a blanket over my drum kit between sets, and it's just no one will touch it.
People trying to touch your drum kit when you're not playing at a gig, get a blanket. Pop it over.
Drummer top tip.
We might have mentioned this. I don't know.
Pop
a blanket over, then it's a clear violation if they want to come touch your drum kit. And since I've lived many years now, I put a sheet over. I check the vibe of the room. If I think so, I'll pop the laminate on that says "Do not touch the drums," and no one's touched my drum kit. So
no, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have talked about that before, but that is something that is worth mentioning, of the fact of you and I, and
people love having a little hit on the drums, don't they?
But every drummer I know, every pro drummer I know, would never go up to another drummer at like a function or any gig and go, "Hey mate, I'm a drummer. Can I have a go on your kit?" It's just
the pissed off cunts.
Out of respect. Yeah, but
you think it's a toy.
Yeah. But even
go fuck yourself.
I hate the people that say they're drum. Oh no, mate! I promise, I'm a great drummer. Fine.
The fact you're saying that, you're saying that instantly means you're not.
Yeah.
So just go and enjoy your little party.
Exactly.
Have a vol-au-vent and fuck off. Anyway, happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
But yeah,
let's get to the cold meats.
Kick pedals at some point. I was going to.
Oh yeah.
We're out of time, but kick pedals is something interesting to me. And
definitely.
But hardware. Hope you got a lovely cymbal stand for Christmas.
Yeah.
And if not,
or a swivel stool,
you'll have a birthday next year.
Exactly.
So go get some cold meats and warm mashed potato, and watch.
Mashed potato.
Yeah.
I've never had mash on Christmas Day.
We definitely have it Boxing Day.
What, from like the roast spuds? You mash them up?
No, Mum just makes a separate mash, I think.
Nice.
A separate
Double
mash with the cold meats. There'll be a bit of bubble and squeak for Dad.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And another box of cheese wrapped in bacon. Hallelujah! Praise Christmas.
Let's leave it there. You can find us on our new Linktree website. Do you call it a Linktree website?
Well, to be honest, that's just so you can go on our Instagram, which is George. Go on our Instagram.
At Drum and Drummer. I forgot our name. At Drum and Drummer Podcast.
Yes. You can also email us. What did you get for Christmas? Did you get a swivel stool? Did you get a hi-hat stand? Email us at drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com.
Perfect.
And please email in if you have had cheese in blankets.
Yeah, that is the main thing.
And spread the word. Spread the word of the cheesy, bacony goodness. So that's where you can find us. Instagram, there's a link in our Instagram, and that then gives you access to wherever you can find the podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast. There's links to our websites. There's links to the podcast website. It's all on there. So that's the main place, the old gram. Go on there. And we'll be back very soon
for a New Year's Day bonanza.
Absolute bonanza.
Right.
Yeah, good.
See you there. Good.
See you later. Merry Christmas.
Glad tidings to you and your king.
Or queen.